Yo, what's going on, everybody? You're watching Giants Now by Chat Sports. I'm your host, Marshall Green. Not at the studio today, actually back at the parents' house in Houston. I've been in the car for the past 4 or 5 hours. Haven't been able to break down all the signings the Giants have made, but I'm ready to get into it right now. If this is why you subscribe to the channel, though, no matter where we're at, no matter what we're doing, we're getting you guys videos as soon as possible. The New York Giants, they have made 4 roster moves on a Friday here as free agency continues to roll on. So subscribe and turn your notifications on so you never miss a thing. Let's start with on the offensive line. The Giants, they went into free agency knowing they had to add more bodies and more talent to that position group. They got started by signing Jon Runyan on day 1 of free agency, backdoored that with the signing of Jermaine Illuminor, and they once again are making moves. They are signing interior offensive lineman Aaron Stinnie. He is 30 years old. Started 11 games last year, 717 snaps, plays the left guard position. What's interesting about him is this is the first year he ever really started any games in the National Football League for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. 11 starts this year, but prior to that, just 1 start in his career. And when you talk about his Pro Football Focus grades and how good of a football player he is, he's a guy that can be a situational starter is what I would label him as. Not a guy that I want in my top 5, but if someone as your starting guard, whether it's Runyan, Illuminor, maybe it's Joshua Zutter or Marcus McKethan gets a first crack at that job. If they end up getting injured or start to play bad or anything like that, Stinnie can come in there and he can give you some valuable reps as well. I think he's a good football player. 47th overall when it comes to his pass block grade of the players that had at least 700 snaps last year. 717 snaps is what he had. So I calculated that by all the players at the guard position that had 717 snaps. He was 47th in pass block grade, 24th in run block grade. So a little bit better of a run blocking guy, but just some depth for this Giants team on the interior offensive line. It was probably the biggest need on this team. Aaron Stinnie, he'll help with that. He's a depth piece. I don't expect him to be a starter for too many games unless it's a spot starting type of role. Allowed 7 pressures last year, 1 sack, 1 hit. Solid player, not really a needle mover, but definitely going to give you some depth on the interior offensive line. The Giants then signed another interior offensive lineman. His name is Austin Schultman, 28 years old, played for the Minnesota Vikings last year, and he had a couple of starts as well. Played that center position. He started 3 games in 2023, 4 games in 2022. In 2023, allowed 1 sack, 1 hit, 5 QB pressures, while in 2022, he allowed a sack, 4 hits, and 10 pressures. And of the centers that played at least 248 snaps, he had the 6th best pass block grade by Pro Football Focus compared to 29th in the run blocking department. So when he was able to play for the Minnesota Vikings in those spot starting situations, very similar to Stinnie, he played pretty well as a pass blocker, 6th in the National Football League, only allowed 1 sack, only allowed 1 QB hit, and just 5 pressures. Good player, not a great player, 28 years old, another quality depth signing for this Giants team. Neither of these guys are going to be making a whole lot of money. The contract details have not fully come out. I believe it's a 2-year deal for Schultman and then a 1-year deal for Aaron Stinnie. I want to ask this question, though, before we get to the other 2 players the New York Giants have signed. How would you grade the offensive line now after the first week of free agency? You add Jon Runyan, you add Jermaine Illuminor, you now add Aaron Stinnie, as well as Austin Schultman. So let me know your grade now for the Giants offensive line. Has it changed at all over the first week of free agency? A, B, C, D, or F? Give me your grade. If I had to give one, I'd say a C plus is where you're at. You probably went from a C minus to a D plus to a C plus. I think you improved with the signing of Jon Runyan. You improved with the signing of Jermaine Illuminor, and depth pieces with Stinnie and Schultman are definitely going to help. I want to say a B minus, but I got to see what Evan Neal does and what he's going to do in his 3rd season in the National Football League. The Giants, they also added more help on the offensive side of the ball. Looking at the tight end position for these final 2 roster moves the Giants have made today. This actually came last night. Hadn't got talked about it on the channel. We did a short, but I want to do a little more in-depth breakdown on Jack Stoll, the veteran tight end. Still young, but he's played a couple years now in the National Football League. He's been with the Philadelphia Eagles since, I want to get it completely right here. He's been with the Eagles since 2021, so still a relatively really young player at 26 years old, but 4th season in the NFL, you're pretty much a vet at that point. 6'4", 247 pounds, 5 catches last year, 38 yards. He's a blocking tight end, just 20 catches for 183 yards in his career. But when you talk about what he does on a football field, it kind of reminds me of an H-back kind of role. We've heard some rumors that Brian Daboll is looking to add a tight end to this team, and Jack Stoll is that type of player that can be that tight end, motion from left to right in the backfield, be a lead blocker on some of those power plays and whatnot. And he played really good in that role for Philadelphia. He had 259 run blocking snaps last year, and PFF ranked him as the 5th best run blocking tight end with at least 289 blocking snaps, as well as the 23rd pass blocking tight end. So he's definitely going to help you in the run department. I mean, shoot, anytime you can take someone from the Eagles when it comes to them helping their run game, bring that over to your team, that should help. The Eagles are usually one of the best teams in the league at running the football. Jack Stoll was a big part of that, and I'm glad he's going to be a part of this football team. Another tight end added to this team was Chris Manhertz, 6'6", 235-pound tight end, 31 years old. He was actually born in New York, but similar to Stoll, he is a pass blocking and a run blocking tight end, even more so than Stoll. Listen to this. Manhertz played 367 snaps last year. 300 of those were blocking snaps. So even though he's a tight end, he's more like that jumbo set offensive lineman where you bring another guy out there, and he's one of the best in the business at it. Number 2 by PFF and his pass blocking grade with at least 300 snaps, and he's number 8 run blocking. So the number 2 pass blocking tight end, number 8 run blocking tight end. The Giants are putting an emphasis on getting guys on the line of scrimmage that can move people. You add Stoll, you add Manhertz, without number 26 here anymore, you now got Devin Singletary here. You're still going to run the football, but it's going to take more of a team effort. Everybody's going to have to pick up the slack a little bit. Stoll can help with that. Manhertz can help with that. Everybody the Giants have signed in the past 24 hours can. Austin Schlottman as well as Aaron Stinney. I like what the Giants are doing. They're putting an importance on signing players at critical positions. You see them go out and pay the big bucks for Andrew Thomas. Same as Dexter Lawrence. Yes, they paid the quarterback. They paid the wrong quarterback. They know that now. They are trying to move on. But then you look at the other positions that they've paid and invested in. It's big-time players like Brian Burns. They're now investing in the offensive line on day 1 of free agency. I like that they spent a premium pick on Kayvon Thibodeau. You paid big bucks to Bobby Okereke. You didn't pay extra money to a safety or running back. Primary and premium positions and big talent at those spots win in this league. Giants know that. They're trying to get their team built like that. I'm a fan of the way Joe Schoen has attacked free agency so far. But there's still a lot of work to do. This offense, when it comes to skill positions, they're at the bottom of the league. I like Singletary. I think Darren Waller can be okay. Who knows if he's going to be healthy or actually play football next year. So it's a tight end question mark right now for the Giants. I think Bellinger's good. I don't know if he's ready to be a number 1 tight end and lead that type of receiving threat from there. I think Wan'Dale Robinson has potential, same as Jalen Hyatt. They haven't proved anything really in the National Football League that they are top-end starters. Darius Slayton is a wide receiver 2, wide receiver 3 at best. The Giants need to add more offensive skill position talent. That can come in the draft. I do like, though, that they're adding proven players at the offensive line and premium positions on defense. Just wanted to get you guys a video on all the news that's happening. The Giants, they signed 4 players here on Friday. Aaron Stinney, the left guard, Austin Schlottman, the center, Jack Stoll, the tight end, and Chris Manhertz, the tight end. Adding some run blocking to the tight end group. I like it. If you made this far in the video, comment real one down below and hit that thumbs up icon on your way out, and we'll be back tomorrow with another vid.